Good morning. Oop. Today is section 47, and the date is March 8th, 1831, in Kirtland, Ohio, for the church, and the prominent doctrine or theme is John Whitmer and the duties of a church historian. So, little historical background. Previously, Oliver Cowdery had acted as church historian and recorder. When the suggestion was made that John Whitmer do this important work instead, he expressed the hope that the Lord would make his will manifest through the prophet Joseph, and this revelation was received. John Whitmer was appointed custodian of the record of the church on April 9th, 1831. When he was excommunicated March 10th, 1838, in Far West, he refused to deliver up the documents in his possession, which consisted of about 85 pages. On his death, John C. Whitmer of Richmond, Missouri, took ownership of the records, and they were later acquired by the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, now the Community of Christ. And then later we obtained a copy as well. About the same time he was excommunicated, the prophet Joseph began his own history, and we read the reasons why in his account of the first vision. So let's see. A main theme here is we are all counseled to keep personal histories. Though we may not be appointed as church historian, we are all responsible to be historians in the church. Each of us is charged with the responsibility of recording our own history and providing a written record that can benefit those who read it. Okay. Okay. So, Roy W. Doxey, whoever that is, has indicated that the history of the church written by John Whitmer was only a mere sketch of the things that transpired. His total work consisted of 85 pages, which included many of the revelations given while he was in office. And then he became, disaffected, disillusioned, and prideful, and left the church. But I had a thought. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. So at the store, usually January, December, some women come into the store and they need this stack of papers copied, and usually it's their ward history. So obviously they're the ward historian, and they've got all this stuff that needs to be copied, because a copy goes to the ward and then a copy goes to Salt Lake. And in it, as I'm copying it, I see like wedding announcements from people in their ward who get married, baptism announcements, things like that. And I'm like, why does it matter if so-and-so, did this or did that? And I get the baptismal records, I get the wedding records, I get that, because that's something that will be very helpful if, say, 100 years from now, their children are doing genealogy and they need, so I understand that part of it, but some of the stuff that they put in there, I'm just like, do they really need to know that the young women played volleyball at Mutual on this night? Is that really vital? But I guess what is vital is keeping a record. In the podcast, in the podcast, they say if you want to be remembered by somebody, anybody at all, then you need to keep a journal. And that's not a sobering thought, but it's an interesting thought. You know, what is it? You know, how many of our children are going to remember Grandma Reese or Grandma Smith? You know, is Mason going to remember Grandma Smith when he's 20, when he's 50? If he has a journal or the personal history that she's been writing, if he has that, then he'll remember her. But in my case, if I never have kids, who's going to remember me? You know, if I don't write down my life or tell my stories to somebody, who's gonna remember me and my life? So that's just an interesting thought to be had, I suppose. Another day, another dollar. I gotta go to work. All right. That was section 47, and I will talk to you later.